Everybody, so good to see everybody around. Whenever I come to a new place, I travel a lot. There's a couple of things that I always like to explore first, and mainly it's people's houses, local people's houses, craftspeople and workshops and stuff. Then cafes. I like to talk with taxi drivers and people. So yeah, and here we are today. Imagine that we can take all of this and create a project out of it. That's the Matchmaker kind of. So I'm Daniel Nahmias. Shalom. I'm from Israel originally. I'm a designer, I'm an architect, I'm an entrepreneur. I do a lot of things. And one of the biggest things I do is the Matchmaker. I'm a curator of this project that was conceived in Jerusalem Design Week. A couple, 2018, but it actually started in 2016. Yeah. So, as you see, this is me. I live here now in Chichao. I've been away of Israel for 5 years. Been to Barcelona, there I studied the master. I've been living in Brazil for a year, been around here and more in Europe and all around. And I do really believe in making hummus and not wars, or walls. Yeah, so today we're going to talk about a project named the Matchmaker. So it's a project that is happening in Jerusalem. I don't know what you know about this city, but Jerusalem is the largest city in Israel. Okay, it's also the poorest. It's the home of all the monotheistic religions, sacred to Jews, Muslims, and Christianity as well. It was always a home for pilgrimage, and as so, a lot of craftspeople were there since ever, giving services to whoever comes to Jerusalem for whatever reason. It's a very diverse kind of a place. Israel, you probably, did anybody go to Israel? Visited? Do we have your Israelis? No, yeah, I can lie. So yeah, Israel is a very, very, very interesting place. And I guess you heard a lot about it. But it's like this kind of mishmash of people, of religions, of cultures, of people from all the spectrum of societies that you can think of. And Jerusalem is a microcosmos of all of this. We say all of the time that whatever happens in Jerusalem today will happen in all the world tomorrow. We coexist here, sometimes with kind of no other way, because you go on a train and you see this nun and then this sheikh and this ultra-Orthodox person and a kind of hipster weirdo like me, and at the end of the day, not all of us want to kill each other, and not all of the Arabs are terrorists, and not all of the Israelis are baby killers, and we just sit together on the train and we're like, yeah, I'm on the way to work, you're on the way to work, and all of us are on the way to live our lives. So in this kind of mess, what we call in Hebrew balagan, I create. And the Matchmaker. So yesterday I was talking here with a nice guy named Hans, and I have this whole amazing presentation that I usually do. I actually presented it in Pechakucha, whoever knows what it is, and it's like a TED kind of for architects in Tokyo a couple of years ago in 2019, just before of the pandemic. But yesterday I was talking with this Hans guy, and my mind exploded. Why? Because he's researching about a Hong Kong people and what they are, the narrative and then I was like, dude, this is what I do. I tell the stories of people and their narrative of lives through design, through a new language that is apolitical, and it just takes people and matches them together. So like I said, this is kind of probably how you know Jerusalem, but Jerusalem has a lot of many sides to it. So, like I said, I'm the Matchmaker. What is the Matchmaker? I'm kind of the Tinder of design. I take contemporary designers, people like me, like a lot of us around here, and match them together with traditional craftspeople, okay? Then I mix and match them, take them all together, and then they go out on a journey that is like a 6-month journey of working together. That at the end of it, we present a beautiful exhibition in Jerusalem Design Week. What we'll do today, how can I go back? Please let me go back. Wait, we'll do this. very, very good for all of us. So, what we'll do today is I'm going to show you a lot of the projects. I had already 5 editions of the Matchmaker, okay? I'm going to show you the stories of the people. Very fast, at the first edition of the Matchmaker, I understood that what's the product that is going to get out of this kind of process, it doesn't matter, it's not important. What is important is the connection between the people. The Matchmaker takes Arabs, Jews, women, men, Orthodox, ultra-Orthodox, secular people, and puts them together. Sometimes people that even don't know to speak the same language. And very fast I understood, hey, we're telling the narrative of each of these people, but this is actually the Israeli society and actually what's going around in Israel. It's just kind of placing it like that, but in a different kind of a language that doesn't go into, I am Arab, I was born here in this war, my family got deported. I'm Israeli, I'm a Jew, the Holocaust. No, there's a new narrative, it's your story, and it's how you create it through objects. So today I'm going to show you a little bit of the interesting projects that we have. So this is, I'll start with this project, just run kind of loosely in between, but this is a project that was actually from last year. Last year, every year we have a theme for the Matchmaker that is a little bit connected to the theme of Jerusalem Design Week. Jerusalem Design Week is actually a very big platform. It's an international design week. I guess people here know what it is. It's just like a whole week of celebration of design and art, and they have money and a lot of money. Actually, this project is being given the biggest budget that is very, very, very amazing in order to do so. Now, why does it go back to Hong Kong and what's happening here? You need to understand, me as a designer or as a curator, I work in this kind of a political kind of map, right? So imagine the state of Israel is giving me money to go and start working, and I don't know if you know, but by law, I can't give money to Palestinians, okay? And we find ways how to take this money and go from down here and give it and work with Palestinians. So this is like kind of, again, why design is such an amazing tool in order to empower and bring to surface those people that are all around us kind of, and show who they are, what they are, and tell their stories, while sometimes, you know, let's call it the government, don't want to hear it or even want to suppress it. So for me, a lot of the times it would be like this platform of Jerusalem Design Week. I used to be like this politician saying kind of, yeah, here, I come from here. For you, I would create a very special kind of suit that, yeah, you won't have a logo of Jerusalem, or you won't have a logo of Israel, or there's sometimes people that don't want to be connected to this or that, or ultra-Orthodox people that don't want to be even seen because a woman can't show her face, okay? Me, I'm not there to judge anybody and what they do. I just come there to give them a platform. So we have here Asaf Cohen, he's a ceramicist, a very, very cool guy, as you see, also kind of hipstery kind of dude, and Mal Chaim. This year, last year I was working only with very, very, very old people. We call them golden age people. Why? Because after COVID, I decided that I wanted to work and empower people that actually during the pandemic, we just got to know how old people are like fragile, and they're not like, this pandemic was all about, yeah, we need to conserve kind of and help those weak people that are old people. And I wanted to come and show the strength and how much knowledge and power they have. So here we have Mal Chaim. He does a very special craft. His craft is called like light metal bending. What he does, he puts it on these lathes, and then like this, all of the IKEA kind of bowls that you have are done like that. Today with a bigger machine, until nowadays we have like 5 or 6 more of these in Israel. He's the last, Mal Chaim is the last late turner in Jerusalem. And actually, he's 93 years old, this dude, okay? And they created together this project. It's called Bright Moment. And actually, the way the technique works is like you take a flat sheet, you put it on the lathe, and you start bending it with a mold. What Asaf wanted to do is freeze moments in time of this process. And what you see here, he created ceramic kind of bodies, and then these metal stuff is the process of making a small little bowl. The reason he wanted also to stop time is because this guy is he almost died on us like twice, and his like, yeah, it's pretty crazy. So sometimes you want to grasp that moment in time, that second that you have with someone that is so important, so like amazing. You have the skill. And so again, now another very interesting thing about this person is Mar Chaim has been in Jerusalem since the mandatory time. He saw everything. The dude is like 91 years old. The state of Israel 2 days ago celebrated 75 years old of being established. So this is a piece of kind of history that we're documenting and bringing in. We'll continue with, let's see this. Here we have Geffen, Yamin, and Judith, that this girl like collects trash kind of in her house. That's what she does. She's actually from a kibbutz. Kibbutz is like, let's say, a very secular concept. It's like kind of communist concept of like everybody lives together. She started as a kibbutznikit, and today she's like ultra-Orthodox, okay? For me to enter to a house of an ultra-Orthodox person is not something that is very easy. You need to gain a lot of kind of respect and confidence and kind of this, you know, you need to be open. And she's open, I was open, and she wanted to do this project. What they did together is she was collecting trash because she just takes trash and makes out of it beautiful things, recycled things. So Geffen is a secular girl, industrial designer, and what they did together is they did these pieces that are a part of a Jewish culture, tradition, of making this kind of, okay, when you get married, so there's a couple of traditions that we need to do that symbolize eternity. But then the trash over there is also something that is very eternal, because plastic is gonna stay forever, but we kind of use it only one time. So she took plastic bottles and stuff and combined it with eternal kind of things. So taking a very something that trash that is temporary, we one time use it and throw it away, and she puts it in a very sacred place of showing us, hey, this plastic that yesterday you throw into the garbage today is going to appear in your wedding in the place that is most sacred, and is demonstrating for us that this is for eternity. I think it's a very interesting thing, because also I can't go in so deeply with you about like what does it mean in the Israeli society, but like we had a law passed about trash in Israel that, okay, ultra-Orthodox people in Israel consume a lot of a one-time plastic, okay? We banned it in Israel, and when the government changed again and became more kind of Orthodox oriented, they took down that ban, and there was a very big protest against it. It's also about like sweet and all the sweets and things in the supermarket were more high for it not to be so cheap for people, people to buy it. And this is also, it was in correlation in that same time. So again, we're showing pieces of society in the way to demonstrate against or pro. So like I said, we work with all kind of people. I'll take you to, this is a very nice project, but so yeah, this is me. This is Tarek Nasser. This is in Ramallah. Okay, another kind of fun fact about Israel, we go into the army, okay? We go into the army. I was in the army for, I was in the army for 4.5 years. In Ramallah, my visits usually were in operations. I used to be a fighter in a very, let's say, high friction kind of unit. And for me to be, this is Manara Square. This is where terrorists come to celebrate when they do a terror attack. Imagine me, after 4.5 years in the army, coming into Ramallah. Israelis can't go into Ramallah. It's illegal. You can actually get kind of kidnapped, killed, whatever. But in 2019, we did a project about only the concept of Jerusalem Design Week was East. And I decided to work only with Palestinian designers and craftspeople. I worked with people from Ramallah, Bethlehem, Hebron, Shem, all around, all of the biggest Palestinian cities, and I went in there. Like this, like how you see me over here, in these places is where I was in combat, okay? It's, again, what you see on TV, yes, sometimes it's these places. And I went in there with not even a little bit of kind of fear, because I knew that in my heart I'm doing something good. We're bringing people together. So I'll show you a very, very nice project. Wait a sec, we'll show you. I want to show you that one specifically because it's nice. We'll go back to all of them, don't worry. Where are you, my son? Here we are, my son Sliman, okay? This is her aunt in Artisana workshop. Artisana is a workshop in the middle of Ramallah. It's like half of this place, okay? And they have employed like more than 300 Palestinian women all around the West Bank, okay? My son is an architect. This is Palestinian embroidery. Palestinian embroidery is something that is very expensive. It's very traditional. You usually wear it, especially for weddings, but it used to be something that was a day-to-day kind of thing. People used to wear it. Today it's not very common, and again, like I said, very expensive, and it's just, you know, as we go forward with technology and with massive consumption, these kind of crafts and wearables just get pushed aside. My son came up with a concept of, she wanted to take this craft and bring it into the house, and she created these kind of lighting fixtures and partitions walls. Now, think about it, when she came into the project, I was interviewing her, and kind of me and Tarek, because she doesn't speak so good of English, of Hebrew, and for us to communicate, it's a little bit kind of hard. But more than that, every year, after my first year in the Matchmaker, I brought in with me a co-curator that was from that same kind of, if I work with Palestinians, who am I as an Israeli to come and say, yeah, I would curate something that is all about, Palestine. So Tarek Nasser is an architect. I do a lot of architecture. We work together. I said, hey, Tarek, let's do this together. Come and help me. So it was amazing. So he's, of course, a part of this. We come into this shop, and just you walk into this place. It's just amazing to see how, again, you go in so deep into the culture, and then you see people. You see craft. You see a different language that is not what you see, like, the government sometimes wants to create like a wall, a physical one, but also behind that, there's someone that is very different than you, that doesn't speak your language, that has different morals, and you come in there and you see these people and you say, yeah, also in the army, a little bit, it was like kind of, there's an enemy, Israel is a very peaceful place actually to live in, but sometimes like our narratives can get a little bit fucked up because of a lot of things. But then when you encounter these people, firsthand, you're like, again. So imagine my son is working with her aunt and with her mom. That's also this kind of a hard kind of, imagine doing a project with your mom or your dad. So that's also another layer that you need to kind of understand, that for me, in order to, I take a risk. I say, okay, let's do something interesting. Let's take a mom and her daughter, let's put them together and see what happens. At the end, they created these amazing fixtures, and again, bringing them into our houses and having something that is more of like of a wantable, we call it like in design, wantable objects, right? A chair, a lighting fixture, something that we can use. And it's actually pretty amazing because all of these embroideries have also a sense to them, a little bit of fragrance, and she implanted that in those objects. Now, I want to show you a movie because we're talking about sense, and if you think taking people that don't speak the same language is hard, I'm gonna tell you about probably the most crazy match that we did. Bar Horvitz, industrial designer, Israeli, with the Arab Blind Association in the Old City, okay? Blind people, don't speak Hebrew, create brooms, and I'll show you for a second a video about what they did. So, Olo, are you there with the...
I'm hiding.
So,
we connect.
Let's see.
You got it?
No, we don't have sound.
Yeah.
I think we have subtitles because
אני בר הורוביץ, מעצבת תעשייתית בוגרת בצלאל. אני
אני מתמקדת במחקר ויצירה בתחומים חברתיים וסביבתיים, שואבת השראה מתרבויות שונות, ממלאכות, מחוכמת הטבע והאסתטיקה שבו. פרויקט השדכן זימן עבורי הזדמנות מרתקת להכיר מקרוב את מפעל המטאטים הקסום של אגודת העברים הערביים. המפעל ממוקם על רחוב אביה דולורוזה שבעיר העתיקה ומספק עבודה לערבים עברים בייצור מטאטים ומברשות. בחזית המפעל ישנה חנות עליה מופקדת נדרה, ובחלקה האחורי נמצא המפעל המאופיין בחללי קמרונות אבן המשמשים כנגריה וחלל שמשמש כפס ייצור לשלב השזירה. האנשים שמפעילים את בית המלאכה עם עזיז הנגר, טהר, אחראי פס הייצור, והעובדים סמיר, אחמד, אבו סמיר ואבו בילal. דרך מחקר מעשי והיכרות עם עובדי בית המלאכה העבריים, התוודעתי לאופן עבודתם הידנית הייחודית ולסדר הפעולות הריטואלי בו הם יוצרים את סדרות המטאטים. לצד הרצון לשמר בפרויקט את היכולת והניסיון שיש לעובדי המפעל, צמחה גם המשיכה לשלב את עולם התוכן והמרקם האנושי שהם מביאים עמם, שהם הרי הרוח המחיה אותו. יחד שימרנו את הטכניקה והמיומנות רבת השנים לכדי חפץ חושי, המעביר חוויה שהיא לא רק ויזואלית אלא גם כזו שנחווית באמצעות חוש הריח. יצרנו אובייקט ריחני שמשתלב בסביבה הביתית, אחד מתוך מגוון תוצרי חקר שנולדו במסגרת שיתוף הפעולה שלנו ונושאים בחובם את רוח בית המלאכה, כמו גם חוויה שמיועדת לרואים ולאלו שאינם רואים. התהליך שעברנו היה מאתגר, מלמד ומאוד מרגש עבורי, ואני מאוד מקווה שתוצרי שיתוף הפעולה יהוו הרחבה למוצרי חנות המפעל ונמשיך לעבוד יחד בהמשך.
Probably smashed Matchmaker in the best way ever. She really did the thing. She came into a place that was totally unfamiliar with her. Took the people, took the craft, took the story, and put it in together. I will do a little recap for you for whoever didn't read fast enough. That was Hebrew, by the way. And as you saw, we had subtitles in Hebrew, in English, and Arabic. All of the project has 3 catalogs, Hebrew, English, Arabic. When you want to be culturally kind of accessible to everybody, you need to do this. And I really do believe in that. I stopped on a different project, but okay. Bao, wait a second, let's go to her project. Here we go. This is the workshop, right? So Ba came into a place that these brooms are today manufactured in China like this. They do 40 to 60 brooms a day. In China they do 40 and 60 like brooms and kind of sneeze, kind of 60 kind of things like this. So a part of the project is also taking through design and giving some solution. We have a part that is problem solving. And she created a new kind of products that they can sell in the shop. What are the products? Whoever didn't understand, it's these fragrance. These guys are fragrance. It's like this is this kind of perfume, and it's like puts out the fragrance like in the toilet kind of thingy. How does it work? She took the fiber, the same fiber that they use with the brooms. And because of the capillarity kind of the fiber, so the perfume goes up. This is olive wood, very kind of iconic to the old city in Israel. And again, telling a story about this, from where did it come from people that can't see, but their other like tactility kind of other senses of them are very strong, like smell. So I think it's like these small kind of things that make things like what they are and put inside the DNA of where they came from and what they say. I think I have like 2 or 3 more minutes. I will go briefly through Muhammad Mahalwas, again, and Ziad Dabe. This guy does bamboo. This guy is a restorator in Al-Aqsa. Al-Aqsa is that very, very sacred place that everybody is like fighting about all the time, right? That mosque in the center of the old city in Jerusalem. Now, what's amazing about this, the Matchmaker has traveled a lot. We've been to Design Art Tokyo, we've been to Istanbul Biennale, I've been to, like, really, it went all around. This guy is an artist, he's not really a designer. And through his process, he was like this close to like drop off of the project because he was like, he wasn't good enough. He didn't know to take what he wanted to do and to pass it to Ziad and work together. Ziad, by the way, he works in the Polytechnical School in the Old City, and he had a heart attack also during the project. Yeah, it's pretty crazy to work with these people. But at the end, after a long time of them working together, he had an heart attack, and I thought that's it. The project is done. But Muhammad decided that he will go into the workshop and continue to work in the workshop. From the workshop, he took things, went to the hospital to be with this dude, and like for 3 weeks, they're together. The guy is like all intubated and stuff in a hospital, and they're doing a design project. Something that half kind of saved his life and created a bond and a connection that was very, very amazing. What he did, I don't know if you see, here you see it's a shape of a fish. Can you see the fish here? Right, a fish and a bird. They did like these kind of seesaws for kids that come from a story that his mom used to tell Muhammad when he was a little fairy tale, Arab fairy tale about a fish. And I, like everybody know the fairy tale about the fish and the bird, that the bird takes the fish and you say, I will take you over there to another pond. And so again, a little bit of that. I will go a little bit briefly, and then so this is them together, a little bit of the craft. This one, just by the way, I will tell you, this one, number one, our exhibition, number one exhibition in Tokyo, Design Art in 2019 with some of these. Michal Levitsky and Ilya Feldman. This dude does watches and Judaika. Judaika is like this kind of craft, Jewish craft. They together created, she is also an industrial designer. She deals with 3D printing. They created together lighting fixtures that are something in between Judaika and 3D printing with like all kind of geometrical patterns and things that come from nature. It's amazing also to see this guy he comes from a quarter of artists in Jerusalem that is almost closing down and shutting down because there's just not enough craftspeople over there. So again, it tells a story about an old building over there that was, again, from the mandatory time and even before. It's called the Sultan's Pool, and it used to be a place in Jerusalem that the Sultan used to take a bath there, and the projects come from there. Again, these people revive still and tell those stories until today, and it's a very, very important part of Jerusalem and Israel, because that same place is a little bit of a place of conflict because the border in '67 passed through there, and it's a question: is this place Israeli? Is it Palestinian? Is it like of everybody? Is it? And these people sit there and do their craft over there, and through the craft they tell exactly that story. For me, it's something that is very, very interesting and also brings a lot into the conversation. A different layer of kind of, okay, we're taking this place and we're not doing anything only for Jews or only for I don't know, like Muslims. We do something that is for everybody. Let's see. Last one we'll do, and then we'll do some Q&A, because during the 5 years that I do the Matchmaker, we did more than 40 projects. Each year in between 8 to 10. So obviously I can't show you all of them, but let's go last but not least. Shadi Francis Majlaton. This dude is probably a very good example of, he's Palestinian, okay? He is Christian, he's gay, he has this drag queen kind of show, and he works with. There's a lot of Ahmeds and Muhammads. Like I say a lot of times, like Ahmed and Muhammad, you know, like it's these are the names. So Muhammad over here, he builds traditional instruments. And what did Shadi do? Shadi, this is the second time he participated in the Matchmaker, and Shadi actually grew a lot with the Matchmaker. I brought him into my studio to come and do some 3D work for me. And I saw it didn't really match, and I told him, listen, stay around, I think I can do something with you. He's like this crazy kind of an artist, very kind of, and later on that year when I started the Matchmaker, I called Shadi up, I said, listen, you need to come to the Matchmaker and be a part of the team, like a part of the designers. He's 4 years with us, being the ambassador for the Palestinian side and a translator, doing all of the social media and like being a co-curator, like a mini co-curator. He's still learning, but it's just an amazing thing to see how someone grows in the project. What they did together is actually, this is his second project. Shadi took the narrative of food in the Arab culture, that is a lot of eating nuts and all kind of things like that. Then all of the traditional kind of instruments reminded him of nuts. So what he did is he did this. This is a bouzouki, this is a oud. These are all kind of things that look like nuts, right? And it's like, eat nuts, okay? It's like it's a saying in Arabic that invites people over, and you say it also in musical kind of events. Okay, come in, it's like in Moroccan we say tirbakhun tisadu in the Mimuna. It's like these kind of traditional and cultural things, events that have like a saying, and then taking the saying and actually creating something, making this fusion and bringing it together. Look at these amazing objects. This is like through a process of design, taking the craft and making something totally different through it. Just for you to see, Shadi worked a year before, and this is what was very interesting about it, with Eyal Hofmekler. Eyal Hofmekler does violins. He's one of the best, he's the best in Israel and one of a worldwide known violin and these kind of instruments kind of maker. They together did from pieces of violins, again, some bags and other kind of accessories. Again, a lot of prizes all around the world. And yeah, I think I even exceeded to 25 minutes. So yeah, that's the Matchmaker. There's so much more to show and to tell and to, yeah, but you know, I think it's now time for some questions maybe. Thank you.
Relevant to what we're doing here with the barbershop, but still so different and from another world, another land, which I think is beautiful that we have such a multicultural show. Before you start your Q&A, which is allowed to last only 15 minutes, because we're going to have a dance performance upstairs with Longman, and it's the first time they've ever met 10 minutes ago, and they will perform for us. So after the Q&A, please come upstairs.
You can give them 5 more minutes if they want. Feel it up, you know?
Yeah. Cool.
I'll just say, by the way, that you can go into my Instagram or the Instagram of Matchmaker. The website got hacked. It's now kind of half a porn site, so don't go into matchmaker.com. Really, I'm not kidding. But yeah, all the videos and everything are on the Instagram as well. You can see all of the project. Yeah. Questions? Yeah.
I was wondering if you could talk a little bit more about your process for doing the matching and kind of how you decide who would match with who. And also if you've come across some situations where the collaborations didn't work out for some reason, and maybe you could talk a little bit about that.
Amazing. Yeah, that's a good question. I actually kind of a little bit. I will start from the last question. It looks very romantic, but it ain't. it ain't people. You take, like, imagine you take people that are so different. So yeah, you're not only a curator, you're a mommy, you're a daddy, you're a psychologist, you're like the therapist, you're like the middleman. I didn't have any matches that didn't, like, that because of something like this didn't kind of go through. I did have once that I needed to switch between two because it will go in a second. I needed to switch, and I will explain exactly why in a second. This last year, I didn't show you that project. We had a Palestinian girl named Georgina Aboud and Aryeh Tempelhof. He's like a very, very amazing carpenter, and he does like I forgot the name of this in English. When you cover up things, how do you call it?
Upholstery.
Upholstery, that's right. So he's the father of this in Israel. Very well-known person, like half a celeb kind of. He's not very right-wing, but he is right-wing. The house he lives in is a house, and his workshop and his studio was a little bit of a like place of conflict because it was Jordanian kind of place of whatever. They had this was like the most clash kind of that I had in between people. It came to a point that after the exhibition they were fighting. Like there was like a lot of fighting about who owns the project, and yeah, that's like the worst I had. But it is sometimes very, very hard. You need to know how to kind of facilitate some kind of conflicts. And again, also at the end, I'm not there to say if somebody is like, it's their narrative. You can't come and say like when somebody says they fight about something that is about their story of their lives or how they see things. Who am I to say like you're right and you're wrong? It's like kind of okay. Let's try and see how to go around it with professional kind of ways. Back to your first question. So there is an open call for the designers. How I match and make and what's the process? There's an open call for the designers. For the craftspeople, it goes, it spreads like mouth to ear kind of. And also I walked a lot around Jerusalem. I do come myself from craft. I build. And so I know a lot. I know the language of craft. So when I come into places, I know to create I know the language of a lot of different crafts. It gives a lot of confidence to the people that you come into their workshops. What do I look for with craftspeople? First of all, people that are very cooperative. If the craftsman doesn't want to work with you, it's not going to happen. C'est tout. Then I have like this list, 10 designers that were drafted out of like, and 10 artisans that are the best that I wanted or fitted into my concept, and also have the factor of we want it to be multicultural. Everybody is welcome. So you see, like you put this map, you create this new map of like Jerusalem, this neighborhood, that neighborhood, this ultra-Orthodox neighborhood. Yeah, down south. Jerusalem is a big place. It's like 1.5 million people already. And then you mix and match it, and you try to take things that are kind of, I won't put an architect with like, I don't know, a house builder. It won't be interesting. But to take, that's what I was starting to say. I took a graphic designer once and put her together with this soft metal worker. She was at the beginning with a welder. And it was too far. So I needed to switch between her and another guy. The process is 6 months. It's like a student, it's like an accelerator. They get a budget, they get a timeline, they get to present in Jerusalem Design Week, they get a mentoring from me and from the other co-curators. They get a catalog, and that's the process. It's really, really structured. On this month you need to produce this and that, and that's the way it goes. Yeah.
It was a similar question about connecting people and being a call out. But I'm also wondering, have you taken this to other countries?
If I did the Matchmaker specifically no, not yet. This year, actually, I handed over the Matchmaker to 2 young designers. I'm out of Jerusalem. I've done it already like a very long time. and I handed it over, maybe now it will free up my time to do something like this. I always want to. I won't lie to you, it's a very costly kind of a project, and you need to find someone to support it. Because if you want to do it, like, I like to do things like kind of good. So, and I don't believe in like doing like, I don't want to bring people to work for free. So if I don't have the budget, but actually there is something. 2 years ago I was in Portugal, and there's a lot of similar kind of projects nowadays. I know. And if you have any idea, hey, call me up. I really want to do it. Here in Hong Kong, it could be amazing. Sure.
That'd be amazing.
Even down here, of the people like from every time when I walk there, it's like kind of like so many things. You can do so many things with these people. Yeah. What else? Do you want to see another movie before we finish? Huh?
Sure.
I'll show you from 2019 when the pandemic started. So that project was for. I'll show you one that is from the food. We had a food kind of specialty edition. And who's this now? Go here, and we'll go into here. This is here you can find all of the things. 19, 20, no, 21. Yes. No, not 21. Yes. Let's see. I'll give it this. I like this. Why not? This will be in Arabic. She will speak in Arabic. There will be.
أنا إدريس. أنا مقدسية. حصل على لقب أول بتصميم الأزياء والمجوهرات. بدأ مشروعي
That year
بعمل
we did a
الحلويات
project
بالاشتراك
only
مع
with craftspeople from the culinary
صاحب
kind
محل
of
حلويات
businesses, like all kind
في البلدة
of
القديمة.
special restaurants
زيارتي الأولى
and people that do
انبهرت
special
برؤية
kind of
عن
foods,
فن
very
الحلويات
traditional
العربية
foods
عن قرب.
in Israel.
تلك التي ترعرعت على مذاقها. تأملت
Baklava,
في
very well
التقديم
known.
وبالأخص تزيينها الدقيق. وجدت في عملهم إبداعاً، دقة ومهارة. منذ افتتاح محل الحلويات سنة 1962 كان شعاره المحافظة على نمط ومذاق الحلويات الشرقية. كان ذلك محفزاً لي أن أساهم في المحافظة على النمط التراثي. خلال زيارتي لفت انتباهي رف يجمع بعض القطع من التراث الفلسطيني الجميل كعلبة الكحل العربي المصنوعة من النحاس وصناديق خشبية مزخرفة معشقة بالألوان وبصدف طبيعي. منها استوحيت فكرتي فدمجتها مع الحلويات. رأيت في تلك القطع إكسسوارات مميزة. أردت أن أشدد على إحياء التراث. رسمت الشكل العلوي لعلبة الكحل وحولته تلقائيا لقطعة حلي. نثرت بداخل هذه الحلي قطع الحلويات المتنوعة بكل ألوانها ودمجتها بمادة تحافظ على المعدن والحلويات سويا. ظهرت لوحة غنية بالألوان والأشكال الهندسية. وجدت كذلك بأن إضافة الألوان للحلويات منذ القدم هي أشبه بمراسيم دينية عريقة. كذلك فإن وجود عنصر الإضاءة هو انعكاس لجو الفرح والاحتفالات كالأعياد، وهذا ما أضاف للقطعة جمالية خاصة. اختياري للمواد جاء من المصادر المعتمدة على تحضير الحلويات ومنها السمن والألبان، لذلك قمت باختيار الجو.
I'm really
أما
sorry, but
الخشب
I need to get a
استوحيته
microphone and a
من
cable.
المحل. العمل المشترك مع نور كان بمثابة تحدي مليء بالمرح والاستفادة. استمتعت بتحضير الحلويات معهم وبالأخص بالتصميم المستوحى منهم.
did you have to constantly like visit them and kind of nurture their project like in person?
Yeah. So, okay. Like I said, it's very, very structured. Since designers a lot of the time lack this kind of a discipline and understanding that we don't learn in design school and architecture school, and there's no like this is real life, this is what you need to do. Follow the budget, follow the timeline, follow it, right? A very big part of the project is that there is a very, very, very kind of precise and structured timeline that you need to follow that has like these bullets. This month you need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and it consists of like at least twice a month meeting with me. So you need to kind of, it's for who of us that are what was that? For who of us that been in design school of whatever sort, these processes and designers, you tend to get lost in kind of the way, and when you have like 8 people like this or 10 designers and 10 craftspeople, that you need to know how to kind of, okay guys, you're doing the research, it's here, let's start going back to here. So again, like twice a month, and then they had like the other kind of deliverables that they need to give them for 6 months. Does that answer the question?
So you had like many of these projects going on at the same time?
Between 8 to 10 that work parallelly, and the designers are actually the ones who lead their own project. Sometimes the craftspeople are very much engaged, and sometimes they're less. They're like okay, give me the plans, I will do this for you. Yeah, that's kind of the deal.
Did you have a team with you doing the whole thing, or was it just you?
At the beginning, maybe I will explain for a second 2 words about that, and maybe then we'll finish. I don't know, because I think so I didn't have a team. The first year I did it all alone. Then the second year I brought in another curator, it was Tal Nasser. And then the team grew, it grew. We had a producer, but of course I had like consultants, like I had my videographer and photographer and yada yada, but yeah, it was mainly me. At the beginning, this started in 2016 with a different kind of a project. This is all, we call it social design. So I was the head of social design of Jerusalem Design Week, doing a cross-sector project again with schools and kids in Jerusalem. We built a very big kind of machine together, Rube Goldberg machine. You know what's that? Never mind. A year later, we were working with business owners and doing problem solving, and then we conceived the Matchmaker for 2018. It was like taking designers, taking business owners and craftsmen, putting them together. Yeah, okay, guys, thank you very, very, very much for listening. It was very nice. Whoever wants to ask more, I'm here. And yeah, follow us on Instagram and on Facebook or whatever, and see